Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wild. Today, we're going to be talking about increasing your order priority. Tell me if this has ever happened to you. You're waiting for Doordash to send you an order, and you're waiting for a ridiculous amount of time. And it's one thing if you're getting a ping here and a ping there, but it feels dead. And then finally, you get a good order. The order is decent enough for you to take it, so you go there, and you end up going to a place where you run into another dasher. That dasher is somebody you happen to know, you run into him a lot, so you have some kind of rapport with him. He goes and says something along the lines of, "Man, it's really busy tonight, huh?" Meanwhile, you're like, "Yeah, trying not to look like an idiot." You're just sitting there like, how is it that I was sitting outside of the restaurant for so long? Meanwhile, I'm waiting for an order, and there are people left, right, and center going in and out of this place with orders that are 20, 15, 18, whatever. And you know they're good orders because you see how many boxes are coming out. Really? Just me? Oh, okay. In an attempt to help you not have to experience that on DoorDash, I am going to go over some pro tips to help you increase your order priority and all of the factors that go into that. That said, let's start with a disclaimer. Content of this video does not contain legal, business, financial, or tax advice of any kind. I am a random YouTuber, and this video is for entertainment purposes only. It is advised that you conduct your own research and consult with qualified professionals before applying anything you find online. And now that we got all of that out of the way, let's talk about things that build your priority. Momentum. What is momentum in DoorDash? When a dasher is receiving orders and accepting very frequently and continuously, they will be sent more orders. Don't confuse this with taking bad orders. I'm saying taking more orders. If somebody is accepting more orders, DoorDash is going to send them more orders. This particular factor is often confused with top dasher. Like if you have a high acceptance rate, suddenly you're a top dasher, and suddenly that makes you more attacked on the internet. It's pretty much what it is. So the challenge is accepting good orders as opposed to just any order you get. Now, how do we fix that? With number 2, program participation. DoorDash has a few different programs available that not a lot of people talk about that actually give you priority on higher payout orders. No, I didn't say top dasher. I am talking more about the large pizza program where you accept larger pizza orders, like they have like 5 pizzas going to X location. Something to that effect. Sometimes it's a party, sometimes it's a corporation. Same thing goes for the large order catering program. Not to be confused with Doordash Drive, the large order catering program. So that program is when orders that are on Doordash Drive are not being assigned to a Doordash Drive member, so they get mixed into the main pool. And they usually all have higher payouts. Normally, you'll get these orders around lunchtime or dinner time, depending on your market. Now, I have a few videos talking very deep into these subjects. I will leave them into the description. The third thing that increases your priority is scheduling yourself to Dash as opposed to Dash Now. DoorDash tends to prioritize people who schedule their dashes as opposed to just hitting Dash Now and just go. Now, this is a fact I stumbled upon in my video about troubleshooting. Again, I'll leave that in the description. They actually outright confirmed if you schedule yourself in, you will have more orders sent to you. Now, this is especially important for people who happen to be in a market where they don't schedule themselves in. Yes, it's important if you can't even get in and you're scheduling, but if you're in a market where people aren't really scheduling themselves in, but there are orders all the time, your best bet to get a leg up on all of those people is to schedule yourself in. Now, what I do is the moment the dash times drop on the last available day in the calendar, I make sure to schedule myself in 2.5-hour intervals. Those 2.5-hour intervals are for a theory that I was working on, and that is number 4, schedule utilization. I do want to be clear before I go into schedule utilization. is that this is a theory. I was trying to figure out how DoorDash combats people who schedule themselves in for like 8 a.m. and then just leave themselves to be active until about 4 in the morning. Like when you're trying to schedule yourself in, the times drop and then people just pick a start time and don't really pick a finish. I had this theory to where they combat that by only providing orders to people who utilize the full amount of their schedule, or as much as possible. Have you ever had a really bad shift throughout the day and for some reason you couldn't take a single order because every order you're getting was unreasonable? That affected your entire day. Now you suddenly don't get lunch orders, suddenly you don't get 2 to 5s, and their dinner rush doesn't feel much like a rush. Or maybe you tried to set up a really off shift just to see how it is that time of day, like your 5 to 7:30 shift, or you tried breakfast for the first time. Every other shift was slower because you didn't really utilize that scheduled time. Now, this also applies to scheduling yourself into a shift and then just no-showing. You decide, you know what, I don't feel like going in today. And you didn't delete the shift out of your app, you just let it time out. You first get the, hey, you're about to dash in 30 minutes. Then you get the text saying, you're running 15 minutes late, sign into the app to get started. And then at 30-minute mark, you end up losing the shift. If you just let it time out, that's going to ruin your schedule utilization. Now, I also believe that it resets itself on a daily basis, but I can't confirm that either. Number 5, and please don't kill me yet, I do have a full explanation on this, is Top Dasher. One of the perks of Top Dasher is actually getting orders first when times are slower. Not all the time, just when times are slower. Graveyard shifts, breakfast in some markets, that awkward 2 to 5 shift. What about also the first 3 months of the year, like January, February, March, where orders are just naturally slower because they're the time of the month where people don't really have a lot of money. They're saving for tax season, or they haven't gotten their tax return yet. First couple months are naturally harder, so therefore there's less availability for dashers to actually accept orders. You will also have priority on orders that are over $30 in subtotal. This was a newly added benefit according to DoorDash. This is in regards to the customer side, not the tip side. So the logic here is that customers that tip $30 or more are probably going to tip you better because 20% of $30 is better than anything less than $30. Now, that's also assuming that the customer does tip, but that's not always the case, as we all know. I do want to say that a lot of people do believe that the cost of being a top dasher is too high, and I agree with that point. Having a 70% acceptance rate doesn't make sense in larger markets because a lot of orders are going to be over $30 subtotal anyway. It almost feels like you're going to be spending more money trying to make a little bit more. It's just unreasonable as a whole. Now, if you're in a smaller market where gaining top dasher might actually give you just enough of an edge to make more than the people around you. So keep that in mind before totally dismissing Top Dasher. And finally, there is lifetime on the platform. Some things just can't be controlled, and that is time. I don't want to get too deep into this one, but there is something I do need to say. It is a factor that is confirmed by Dashers, DoorDash, and a lot of creators that also work with DoorDash. But I really can't figure this one out. No, seriously. Like, I've been trying to figure out what metrics actually matter when it comes to lifetime on the platform. Because first of all, we know it's active lifetime. Because if you're dormant on the account, they're just going to deactivate you. It's number one. Number two, are they measuring your time on the platform in terms of days, months, and years? Or lifetime deliveries like they do in the rating systems? Are they referring to your schedule utilization? Are they refreshing it at a certain point? Or is it something else entirely that I'm just not understanding? Is lifetime on the platform based on all actions or just deliveries? What about acceptance rating, completion rating, just an overall history of you being on the platform? Or does it have so little impact that it's almost not really noticeable? Or, and here's another one, does it actually hurt you, your history on the platform? Like when it comes time for a system glitch and people just get deactivated and they're trying to do cuts and no one's talking about it. Is it really an accident or was it intentional that you get deactivated? Now, I feel like if you ask DoorDash anything about this, you're going to get one of three responses. We do not do that. We do not disclose that information, but... And then they proceed to talk about something kind of making them look like a hero. And then there is, please hold while we find out for you. Let me ask somebody. They leave you on hold for like 45 minutes. You get hung up on. Please tell us about how great our service was, which it really wasn't. Now, there is a downside to increasing your order priority. I do want to be clear. There is a common misconception when it comes to receiving more orders on DoorDash. Because when people think, oh, more orders, that means more money, right? Like, why wouldn't you dash in the rain or the snow or just accept orders because there's money attached to it? More orders is not the same thing as good orders. Receiving more orders means you will have more low tip offers or no tip offers just as much as you will have more high tip offers. This is why most people don't like getting Top Dasher, because it doesn't increase your priority enough to compensate for the net loss you would accrue for the last couple days for the month. The best thing you can do with increasing your priority is actually focus on the particular factors that bring you the most net profit. That is the pizza bag program, the large order program, scheduling yourself in, and Top Dasher if it actually is something that's going to benefit you because you live in a smaller market and you can really use that edge. Other factors will just follow in result of you accepting the other four. Your momentum, your schedule utilization, and your lifetime on the platform. Now, this isn't dismissing fundamentals either when it comes to food delivery. Being in proximity of good areas that actually give you good order. Knowing your area and all the neat tricks that actually get you more orders in your area. The more local things. Creating your own hotspots, because we all know that DoorDash hotspots aren't really accurate. But the point is that you want to be as high up on the waiting for an order list as possible, because if you're at the bottom, you need to increase your priorities in other areas. Here's a question I have for you guys as people watching this video. Did I miss anything that can increase your priority? Did you sign up for the pizza and large order programs? Again, that video is in the description. Feel free to check that out. It also has the waiting lists and a link to the pizza bags that DoorDash offers, so that way you can get started on those programs as soon as possible. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to smash the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.